Thanks for coming to this week's news, and I appreciate you for joining and subscribing to the channel. Let's get on with it. FBI takes over the investigation after stolen military explosives were found in a home in the Villages. The price of water is going to rise in the Villages due to our drought. A driver trying to park their car ends up crashing their car into the store. A homeowner here in the Villages refuses to bring their out-of-compliant home back into compliance. A driver was ticketed and taken to the hospital after a crash on Morris Boulevard. There was a lot of crashes this week in the Villages. I reported a few. How many holes the ones in golf we get this week? It's a surprise. Letters to the editor. This and more coming up. I believe this is going to be the most interesting story, or should I say leading story of the week for me. The Federal Bureau of Investigations has taken over an investigation into stolen military explosives that were found at a home in the Villages and led to evacuation order of nearby properties. On Tuesday afternoon, the Sumter County Sheriff's Office provided an update about the explosives that were found in a home in the village of Rio Ranchero. Upon arrival, law enforcement officials immediately began evacuating nearby residences in anticipation of the arrival of the Lake County Bomb Squad. Investigators and bomb squad technicians determined that the items were confirmed stolen from the military. The scene was cleared of all explosives and residents were permitted to return to their homes a short time thereafter. No injuries were reported during the incident, and the Sumter County Sheriff's Office stated that the FBI has taken over the lead on the investigation. Any further updates regarding the case will be provided by federal authorities. Bomb squad people. I got a lot of respect for them. Let me show you something real quick. I used to know a lot of state police people, and I don't know if this came from somebody I once knew or not. Hope you can see that on the front of that. Indiana State Police Bomb Squad. Yeah, they got my respect for sure. Thank you, police departments, bomb squads nationwide. Well, it looks like the price of water is going to go up. Due to the declaration of a Phase 2 severe water shortage by the Southwest Florida Water Management District, additional water use restrictions and rate adjustments are now in effect. Where the restrictions apply in the Villages, the restrictions apply to residential and general commercial customers in the Villages located in the following areas. Sumter County Districts 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's me, 12, 13, 15, 16. And Middleton, Marion County District 4, Lake County District 11. Environmental Protection Surcharge. Effective February the 8th, district utilities are required to implement an environmental protection surcharge of 5% for residential and commercial water use, including both potable and irrigation water under severe level 2 conditions. The surcharge applies to all district-owned utilities serving customers in the affected areas listed above and will remain in effect through July 1, 2026 or until the Phase 2 severe water shortage is lifted by SWF-WMD, that's Southwest Florida Water Management District. Once the water shortage order is lifted, the surcharge will be removed. These rates promote water conservation and were established as part of the district's approved rate schedules and water use permitting requirements with SWF-WMD. Watering allowances. Micro-irrigation and hand watering of non-lawn areas are still allowed on any day if needed. Additional guidance on water, new lawns, plants, reclaimed water, and other water use activities is available at watermanners.org/restrictions. Why is this happening? The region has received below average rainfall during the summer rainy seasons and is currently experiencing a 13-inch regional rainfall deficit compared to the 12-month average. Water levels in aquifers, rivers, and lakes throughout the SWF-MD region continues to decline, with many below normal. Public water supplies in the Tampa Bay area are also lower than expected for this time of year. While adequate public water supply remains available, these measures are necessary to protect long-term water resources. Any questions? Visit the district's website, watermanagement.org/restrictions. Send an inquiry to watermatters.org/restrictions or call 813-856-5679 during business hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The more you know. Other activities listed in a water shortage order included low volume watering of plants and shrubs, micro irrigation, soaker hoses, hand watering is allowed any day at any time. Annual pressure washing or pressure washing in preparation for painting or sealing is allowed. No HOA or other entity may enforce deed restrictions or community standards that require increased water use, including replacement of plant material to meet aesthetics standards or pressure washing. Car washing at home, non-commercial, is only allowed on your assigned lawn watering day and must use a hose with a shut-off nozzle. Fountains and other aesthetics-only water features may only operate up to 8 hours per day. Pressure washing is allowed once per year and for necessary purposes such as prior to painting or sealing, to address a health or safety hazard, or to comply with health laws. Aesthetics concerns do not constitute necessary purposes. For complete details or ask questions about these restrictions, visit the Southwest Water Management District's website at www.watermatters.org. But here's the problem. It ain't none of these restrictions. Most of these people follow restrictions. I follow them. Everybody follows them. The problem is when the snowbirds go home, they don't shut their yard sprinklers off. They probably shouldn't because the heat in the summer will kill your grass. They don't have a home watch person, but they need to get somebody to come over to their house once in a while and check on everything, because during a drought, they need to shut that water sprinkler down to 1 day a week because that's all you're allowed. Most people will water their yard 3 days a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's when they water their yards. And I usually do it early in the morning, like 5 a.m. or something like that. Because when you're out walking early in the morning, that's when you see that the sprinklers are on. But they got to cut that down to 1 day a week. Otherwise, they're in violation. Even though they're not here, they're still in violation. So these are the things that you need to think about if you're going to be a snowbird and you're going to go home. I say all the time, get a home watch service. Somebody that you can trust. You need to get one because there's things that pop up all the time. Newspapers in the driveway, storms coming along, burglaries in your neighborhood. Things like this always come up, and it needs to be addressed. So get a home watch service and save yourself some wear and tear on this old brain up here. Here's more or less an update on the shoring up of the property over around the Lake Sumter Lake area. It's been going on for a few years now, and I think they're finally winding down to spending the money to get some things done. The project-wide advisory committee has agreed to spend $843,829 on a Lake Sumter shoreline revetment project. Water levels in Lake Sumter have fluctuated significantly over time, according to the district government staff. Prolonged conditions in the early 2000s resulted in unusual low lake levels, exposing shoreline banks previously stabilized by vegetation. Subsequently, hurricanes and severe weather events generated increased wave action, which further scoured those exposed areas and accelerated erosion. Now the shoreline extending from the lighthouse to just prior to the John E. Parker Bridge exhibits areas of moderate and severe erosion and requires repair. The shoreline banks in this area serve a critical function in protecting district-owned property, including irrigation and infrastructure, adjacent residential homes, and pedestrian pathways, according to the presentation Monday at the PWAC meeting at Seabreeze Recreation Center. As a result, district staff has proposed a project to restore the affected shoreline using compacted clean fill material and reinforce the banks through the installation of a riprap. This approach is consistent with the method successfully implemented in the recently completed Morse Island Shoreline Revetment Project. PWAC unanimously approved a motion to present a recommendation of award to the Sumter Landing Community Development Board for the lake. I believe that's one of the developers' companies. Sumter Shoreline Revetment Project to consolidate Land Services Incorporated in the total amount of $653,752 for the project and to reserve an additional $190,077 for construction management and contingency for unforeseen change orders. Money, money, money. A driver was ticketed and taken to the hospital after a crash on Morse Boulevard in the Villages. The woman was driving a Buick Encore at about 2 p.m. Monday when she was at San Juan Drive making a left turn to travel south of Morse Boulevard. She failed to yield to a Chevy Avalon pickup, which was northbound on Morse Boulevard, according to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. She was transported to UF Health Spanish Plains Hospital after reportedly suffering neck and back pain. She was cited for an improper turn. Multiple injuries were reported in a crash Tuesday night on the bridge over Lake Sumter in the Villages. A white Subaru SUV and a black Jeep Wrangler were traveling in opposite directions at 6:50 p.m. when they collided on the Morris Boulevard Bridge, according to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. All occupants of both vehicles were transported to local area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. The accident shut down traffic on the bridge. This crash remains under investigation. A two-vehicle crash Wednesday afternoon near the Laurel Manor Recreation Center sent both drivers to the hospital. The driver of Nissan Rogue SUV shortly before 2 p.m. crossed Buena Vista Boulevard at Parr Drive going to Laurel Manor Drive, according to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. The driver pulled in front of a Chevy pickup which was traveling north on Buena Vista Boulevard, leading to a collision. Both drivers were transported for non-life-threatening injuries to a local hospital. The driver of the Nissan was cited for failure to yield. A driver trying to park a car crashed into a restaurant in the Villages. The driver was trying to park the vehicle at about 4:45 p.m. Thursday at the Arby's at Buffalo Ridge Plaza when the driver accidentally pressed down on the gas pedal, causing the vehicle to jump the curb and strike the building, according to Sumter County Sheriff's Office. The Villages Public Safety Department was called to the scene to evaluate the building for structural integrity. The driver was transported to the UF Health Spanish Plains Hospital as a precaution. A note here. This happens more than you would like to really hear about, not just here but everywhere. Once me and Sue was down by Orlando at another retirement community checking it out. We went to the local restaurant there because I wanted to taste the food there instead of somewhere else. As we're walking down the sidewalk, just like this one was made right here, a sidewalk right in front of the parking area, the car right behind me, just right behind me, all of a sudden hit the gas pedal, jumped the curb, and crashed into the building. Bad enough that the building had to be evacuated and they closed the restaurant down. Now, how does that happen? You'll have to answer that question for yourself. A villager who admitted drinking at a country club has been arrested after crashing his golf cart at a tunnel. Scott David Morgan, 56, of the village of Belvedere, was arrested this week at his home at 2430 Morven Parkway on a warrant charging him with driving under the influence. The warrant was issued after a blood toxicology exam was returned from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Laboratory, showing that Morgan had a blood alcohol level of 0.259 and 0.261 on October 30th when he crashed his E-Z-Go golf cart into a light pole after traveling at a high rate of speed through the golf cart tunnel at County Road 101 near Southern Trace Plaza, according to a arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. The golf cart overturned in the crash. When deputies arrived on the scene, it appeared as if Morgan had been drinking. The Ohio native was emotionally crying and expressing shame. He admitted he had been drinking wine at Palmer Legends Country Club. I like Palmer's. Well, I used to like it. It's got new ownership now, so I don't know if I like it as well now as I did then. He struggled through field sobriety exercises and had trouble reciting the alphabet. He was taken to a local hospital for evaluation of his injuries, and while there, he agreed to allow a blood draw. The sample was sent to the FDLE for testing. A criminal history check revealed he had previously been convicted of driving under the influence in 1999 in Ohio. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $4,000 bond. Question, because I'm not a lawyer, says here that he agreed to a blood draw. Does that mean he has a right with no penalty to say, no, I'm not going to do that? Just wondering. Because if you have the right without some kind of penalty there, why would you agree to it? Especially if you know you've been drinking. I wouldn't. A visitor from Indiana allegedly turned violent after she was confronted about a drinking problem. Tracia Maria Choop, 45, of Pierceton, Indiana, was captured on video Thursday at a home in the Villages where she attacked a man over the age of 65, according to a report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. The man had confronted Chump about her drinking problem. She began smacking and swatting at the man's head, prompting him to fall to the ground. He showed deputies videos of the attack and said these types of attacks had previously occurred, the report indicated. The report did not disclose the relationship between Chup and the older man, but described it as a domestic situation. She was arrested on a felony charge of battery on a person over the age of 65. A criminal history check revealed she has had alcohol-related driving charges in the past. She was booked on a $5,000 bond at the Sumter County Detention Center. You guys let me know in the description box below, because I'm really kind of out of touch. I've been in Florida for so long. I'm out of touch with things in Indiana and other places. I say Indiana because she's from Indiana. I'm from Indiana. Is it a felony to attack a person in Indiana over the age of 65 like it is here in Florida? Because I really agree with that law. There's no reason for anybody to be attacking an elderly person. A Maine snowbird in a golf cart was arrested on a drunk driving charge in the Villages. Rodney Daniel Jordan, 70, of Stratton, Maine, was driving a white Yamaha golf cart at about 9:30 p.m. Monday on the golf cart path near the entrance of the village of Bridgeport at Lake Sumter when the golf cart's illuminated blue lights, along with side lights at the bottom of the exterior of the golf cart, attracted the attention of Sumter County Sheriff's deputy. Let me stop right there. Bridgeport at Lake Sumter. What a nice area. During traffic stop, Jordan admitted he had consumed 2 vodka and crayons during dinner about 30 minutes earlier, according to the arrest report. What's crayons? C-R-A-N-S. Jordan had to grip the golf cart for stability and staggered when he walked. The deputy detected the strong odor of alcoholic beverage when Jordan spoke. Jordan agreed to participate in field sobriety exercises, but his poor performance led deputies to believe that he had been driving impaired. He provided breath samples that registered .121 and .113 blood alcohol content. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $1,000 bond. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement placed a hold on an unlicensed driver from Mexico caught speeding near the village of Whale Point. A white SUV sped by an officer at 46 miles per hour in a 30 miles per hour zone on Corbin Trail at 11:40 a.m. Monday, according to the arrest report from the Wildwood Police Department. After stopping the vehicle near the village of Whale Point, the officer asked the driver, 39-year-old Humberto Valentin Jimenez, for his license. Name will be in the picture. Valentin Jimenez instead handed over a Mexican passport, which was used to learn he had only a Florida ID issued due to the previous offense in 2024. He had been convicted of driving without a license in Marion County, the report said. The native of Mexico was arrested on a charge of operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. Second conviction. He was transported to the Sumter County Detention Center, where ICE placed a hold on his custody. An unlicensed driver from Honduras was arrested for driving without a license after being stopped near Quality Suites in Wildwood. A deputy pulled over 30-year-old Omar Antonio Valadez Gonzalez near Quality Suites located at 271 State Road 44 in Wildwood around 7:20 p.m. Friday, according to an arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. His vehicle had an improperly lit license plate, leading to the traffic stop. Valadez Gonzalez proceeded to hand over a Honduran passport and stated he never got a driver's license in any state. A check of his driving history confirmed this to be true. A native of Honduras was subsequently arrested on a charge of operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. He was transported to the Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $150 bond. I hear you. I don't know. I have no answer for you. This home is so out of compliance, it's ridiculous. And how this person, I don't know where they're from, I don't know what ethnicity they are, I don't even know if they have a brain in their head. But the one thing that they did here, and I can't imagine ARC approving any of this, is I'm going to read a report to you. There's a couple of reports here, and I'm going to try to combine both of them into one to make it as short as possible. A homeowner has been ordered to bring his problematic property into compliance. The home is located at 4540 Perlman Way in the village of DeLuna. The home was the subject of continuous deed compliance case last year after neighbors complained about an unauthorized buried 500-gallon tank with elaborate underground piping. In addition, the neighbors were also upset about big, bountiful plants right up near the wall and within inches of their neighbor's property. It was prompting flooding on their neighbors' properties and suspicious chemicals were draining into the nearby pond. That case was eventually resolved, but not to the satisfaction of all the neighbors. The home will be the subject of discussion at a meeting of the Community Development District 12 Board of Supervisors at 1 p.m. Monday at Everglades Recreation Center. The point of the contentment at the moment is a violation on the side of the home, which is owned by Stephen Walls and Debbie Gammon. They purchased their home in 2020. The violation is located within required setback areas and easements, according to a letter to the couple from a lawyer for CDD 12. They are accused of having landscaping and yard ornaments which could interfere with swales and the district's stormwater management and retention systems. They apparently got approval from the Architectural Review Committee, but their work exceeded the scope of their ARC applications. Apparently, the couple has ignored letters from communication from the district ordering them to correct the problem. The attorney made it clear that the couple will face an immediate lawsuit if the problem is not corrected. I'm more interested in that tank that's buried in the ground. What is it? What is it used for? And they're talking about extensive plants. My guess is it's probably some kind of a liquid fertilizer system maybe set up for their plants, because as you can see by these pictures I'm putting up here, there's a lot of plants in this property. I have no problem with people that love plants, but there are certain rules here about your property and plants. I cannot imagine ARC approving burying that tank. And if they did, I'd kind of like to know what that tank's for, just from my own mind. That's it. I just like to know. There's another part of this report. Let me see if I can find it over here. Here it is. Instead of filing a lawsuit against the homeowners of the village of DeLuna Home, a civil engineer will be hired to investigate drainage issues that neighbors say have caused flooding. Community Development District 12 supervisors voted Monday to authorize an engineer's report to determine the origin of flooding that neighbors blame on yard work done by the homeowners Stephen Walls and Debbie Gammon at their home. Neighbors complained last year about an unauthorized buried 500-gallon tank and underground piping system at the home. They also objected to large plants next to the rear wall within inches of their property. But those issues were resolved, but neighbors now say a swell, a shallow channel designed to carry stormwater, was removed and could cause flooding. Due to a drought in the area, flooding has not been an issue lately. As far as I know, the property remains out of compliance, said CDD 12 attorney Mark Brians. The homeowners got approval for some of their changes from the Architectural Review Committee, but Briance wrote in a letter to them that the work in setback and easement areas may have exceeded the permit. The swale is completely gone, and we've got problems with the water, the neighbors Frank and Kay said. But Gammon said it's not clear what is to blame for the water problems. I would like to see proof, she said. This is all blindsiding, and that could be. Deputy District Manager Carrie Duckett said the engineer's report could provide clarity. And that could be true. I still want to know what's that 500-gallon tank buried in the yard was. And the thing that neither one of these mentioned, when they say that drainage has gone away, my guess is it's been filled in with dirt. And I say this because somewhere there was a report, and I don't have it here, that they brought in something like a massive amount of dump trucks of dirt. I want to say like 10, 15 dump truck loads of dirt in that backyard. So it's a good chance that drainage between the homes, you guys have seen them around here. You're not allowed to do anything with that. You can't plant anything in it. You can't fill it in. If you've got a flooding problem, they come out and they time it. If we have a heavy storm, which Sue and I's been here during heavy monsoons, and the water runs between houses, kind of like little creeks, but that's designed to do that. They run out to the road, down the road, into the drain, into a pond or a holding area. And that's how it works. If you plant something in there, you're interfering with that flow of water. And I never seen it, but I've heard people talk about how a neighbor didn't like it. And so they had dirt brought in and hired some, who knows who, not a legit company, just somebody in a pickup truck to fill that ditch in. And you can't do that. You're asking for trouble if you do that. And it's going to cost you twice as much money to get all that put back the way it's supposed to be. So take a lesson from some of these reports if you move down here. Don't do some of this stuff. And if you do get ARC approval like this guy apparently did, I'd like to just know what that 500-gallon tank was for. That's all. I'm not saying he didn't have permission to do it. I would just like to know what it's for. Here's a short but kind of funny, cute kind of a thing to end the news with. This vehicle has a not-so-subtle message while parked at the pump January 30th at the Circle K at Lake Deaton Plaza. I agree, YMCA is the only song I like from them, said our members of the parking patrol who took the photo. You gotta laugh, right? I love it. Thanks for the picture. Yeah, let's see how many holes in ones of golf do we get this week. Looks like 6. I think this is the most holes in ones of golf that I've ever reported in one week. Scott Talton of the village of Chitty Chatty was excited to get a hole-in-one this past Monday at hole number 5 at the Lowlands Executive Golf Course. He used a lob wedge to make the 100-yard shot. Well, congratulations on your hole-in-one, Scott. Lurie Fegley of the village of Piedmont got his first hole-in-one on Super Bowl Sunday. He scored the lucky ace at hole number 5 at the Amberwood Executive Golf Course at 147 yards with his 7-wood. Well, congratulations on your first hole-in-one, Larry. I know it's exciting. Sean Doon of the village of Shady Brook got a hole-in-one on January 27th at hole number 6 at the Hilltop Executive Golf Course. He used a gap wedge from 120 yards away. It was his 11th hole-in-one and 4th ace in the villages. Boy, you're one lucky dude. Well, congratulations on your hole-in-one, Sean. Helene Tanny of the village of Sable got her first hole-in-one at hole number 1 at the Sarasota Executive Golf Course. She used a 5-wood from 96 yards to the hole out into the regulation-sized cup. The reason why they say regulation-sized cup, there's a few executive golf courses around here to make things easier for especially beginners. There's a 6-inch hole, there's a 4-inch hole. The 4-inch hole is a regulation size, and they're oversized buckets in the ground to make it more exciting for them. Congratulations on your hole-in-one, Helene or Helen. I think it's Helene. Keep playing and you'll get some more. Robert Gatterling of the village of Sable Chase scored his first hole-in-one on Super Bowl Sunday. He scored the lucky ace at hole number 3 at the El Santiago Executive Golf Course. Well, congratulations on your first hole-in-one, Robert. Troy Camillo of the village of Charlotte got a hole-in-one on Sunday at hole number 1 at El Diablo Executive Golf Course from a distance of 96 yards using an 8-iron. It was his first hole-in-one. I always like reporting them first holes in ones. Congratulations, Troy. I hope you had a fun day. And congratulations to all of you to get your first hole-in-one or to get your numerous holes in ones. It's a great day. Okay, how about everybody's favorites? Letters to the editor. Let's see what everybody else is concerned about. To the editor, it's not just the villages that has become overbuilt. I live in Silver Spring Shores. Moved here 26 years ago. It is unrecognizable to me today. Green spaces have disappeared, replaced by huge housing developments, car washes, gas stations, auto parts stores, etc. But we don't have the amenities to match the needs of the population explosion, i.e. doctors, dentists, clothing stores. We have to drive to ridiculous traffic that is often backed up to Mary Camp Road. And more home construction is in the works. Time to leave Florida, period. And that's sent in by Kathy Kabeski Scarnato from Silver Springs Shores. Well, Kathy, I don't know much about your area, but yeah, that seems to be the thing about Florida. It's overbuilt everywhere. I don't know why. I got my suspicions as to why, because the baby boomer retirement era was the largest group of retirees in the history of the United States. Baby boomers. That's us. That's me. Now, I don't know if you're a baby boomer or not. 27 years ago, you were not. You probably retired about when my dad retired. And I came down here when Dad had a place down here. And you're exactly correct. Some of these places are just unrecognizable anymore. I've been down to Dad's old place, just going through town, reminiscing a little bit. And I couldn't even hardly find this place. It's just that much different. It's the way it is. It's the way Florida is right now. I guess that means it's good for us. Florida must be very great for everybody else, or they wouldn't be moving here. It's more than just the weather. I believe, don't throw rocks at me, I believe a lot of this is due to some politics in other states, and they're sick of it, and they're moving out of it because they can. Thanks for the letter. I appreciate it. To the editor, I've been here since 1995. The growth from Sandy Springs has been phenomenal. I applaud the developer in keeping the covenants the same. It is a clean and mostly safe place to reside. Property has been kept up. Standards are set. We have many amenities that other developments don't have. Feel fortunate to still live here and enjoy every day. Welcome, everyone. That's sent in by Gene Wood from the village of La Zamora in the Villages. I've been to La Zamora. Matter of fact, years and years ago, we went to a house that I really considered on buying as a part-time home, and I'll tell you why I didn't. It had so many of them Spanish oak trees in this person's property. It was a fairly decent-sized property. I'm not cleaning up that mess. Those trees are the filthiest, dirtiest trees I've ever seen in my life, and so that's the reason why I didn't buy there. The thing about La Zamora village that I like, and I know it doesn't have anything to do with the letter, but I'm just kind of rambling here, is that it's hilly. It's fairly hilly. It's not flat like you would see everywhere else. Where I'm at here in Hillsboro, we're flat. Everything's flat. Nothing wrong with that, but it is. La Zamora is not that way. There's a lot of hills, a lot of inclines in it. And I kind of like that. A lot of trees there too. It's a nice area. Location's good. There's nothing wrong with La Zamora at all, and I have nothing bad to say about it. And what you do say about here, like you say, Spanish Springs is phenomenal. It is. It's a great place. And now they're rebuilding Spanish Springs or updating it. So there's a lot of new things going in and out of there. But also there's a lot of things that people loved there that are now gone because the developers' companies took them back to make more money. One was a church on the square. They took that church and turned it into a theater so they could charge you for tickets. That's really what it boils down to. The other one is Katie Bell's. I miss Katie Bell's. I like Katie Bell's. I think a lot of people up there loved Katie Bell's, and they just took it and did away with everything in there and turned it into apartments. It's gone. So, you had one of the original 2Js up there on the corner. I love 2Js up there. Matter of fact, I used to travel all the way up there, passing the 2Js and Lakes Up to Landing to go to that one, and it's gone. So there's some good and there's some bad. It's something you just have to live with, I guess, if you live here. You're going to have change. It's always going to be change, especially when it comes to restaurants. One year, a restaurant's really popular. Next year, the restaurant sucks. That's just the way it goes around here anyway. So get used to them coming and going all the time. That being said, thanks for your letter. I appreciate it. To the editor, I have to agree what everyone has been saying in the commentary on the Villages. It's getting out of hand. You really can't enjoy anything. Even the rec centers are getting way too crowded. If they were going to make the Villages this big, they should have accommodated it with everything bigger. Pools, rec centers, town squares. Why does it always have to be about money and greed? It's getting ridiculous. How do they expect to accommodate all of it? So many people and traffic, and rude people for that matter. And that's sent in by Gail Zenix from the village of Moultrie Creek. That's one of the newer areas down there. It is crowded, and I'm always amazed about how small they make a lot of things. I've walked around here when they were building things new, and I immediately, by coming here as long as I have, I immediately would look at something, oh, there's not enough parking. I mean, you could just see it. But they get by. They always seem to get by. And, they design it, and they have some professional people. At one point, they had some people from Disney that came up here and helped them design certain things, like some of the housing areas, probably some of the town square kite areas. You'll see some Disney effects in some areas, especially in Caroline. There's an area back there in the back that looks like Key West. I don't know the name of the area, but I love that area back there. So what they did and how they did, I don't really know all that. The only thing I can just say is it is what it is. And if you're going to be here full time, you'll see a huge difference in crowds in the summer months. Somebody asked me once, do you like the winter or do you like the summer? I like both. They both have their advantage. Summer, obviously, it's less crowded. Winter, obviously, it's not as cold as it is up north. It's the weather. Just come down. I always tell people, come down for a week's lifestyle visit in the winter, and you'll see how things are, whether you like it or you don't like it. And take another week's lifestyle visit and come down in July or August when it's 100 degrees outside, and then see if you can stand the heat. Some people can't. And so I want you to do that before you spend $500,000 on a house. So that, I'll just say, thanks for the letters to the editors. I appreciate every one of them. Okay, I think that's going to be the news for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There was a lot of news this week. I tried to pick up on the news when I go through it, pick up the things that seems to be what's really happening this week. And there was a lot of crises. You didn't get all of them. I didn't want to do all of them because it have filled in the whole area of the news. But there's a lot of crises this week in golf carts and cars. And the one in front of that restaurant there, wherever it was, those are the ones that concern me. Because if you happen to be standing there when she got mixed up with the gas or the gas pedal, or he or she or whoever it was, if you were standing there and they hit that gas pedal because they got mixed up on which one was which, you could be dead or at the very least end up with serious injuries. So that's why I say beware. Be aware where you're at. Just don't walk around and looking ahead and not paying attention. Whenever I'm walking down a sidewalk in a shopping area, and you can ask Sue, I do it all the time. I'm always looking at the cars as we're walking down a sidewalk to see who's in a car. If there's nobody in the car, I don't worry about it that much. But as you're walking down a sidewalk, just take a glance of the cars you're going to walk in front of. Is there anybody sitting in that car? Are they sitting in the driver's seat? If they are, be aware. And I do it constantly. And you go park your car next to somebody. If that car you're parking next to is really parked wonky, you know what I mean? I'm not sure that I would recommend parking next to it, because this is going to be the same person that's going to come out of there and take their door and smack it into your car, leaving you with dents, and there's not going to be a whole lot you're going to do about it. It's on private property. You can call the police, but they'll just make a report. That's all they're going to do. And I'm not even sure they'll make a report unless there's like X amount of damage or an injury. So just kind of those little things like that. So I do want to appreciate everybody for coming to the news this week and supporting the channel and my new patrons that I got. I appreciate every one of you for joining. We had a little men's meeting this week. I called it just men's only. It wasn't that many showed up. There was supposed to be like 10 of us to show up down there, but only really about 6 or 8 of us, I forget now, showed up. Some of them didn't even show up. Don't know why. So anyway, we had a good get together though. We had some chicken wings and some beer, and we shot the bull and exchanged ideas about some things. Also, a few days ago, by the time you see this, probably about a week ago, I did go to the factory up there where Cartworks is at, and did do a video inside the factory, and they showed us some new things coming up. They showed us some new things that they're going to be selling and offering. Some of them I'm excited about, and Jose was excited about it. And so in that video, you're going to notice a lot of things. I'm just going to give you one word of warning on that video. I don't know what happened. This is the problem with equipment. Why do you show up with 3 different cameras? We're always expecting one of them to screw up. Why do you have wireless mics and a plug-in mic to go on top of the camera? In case one goes bad, the other one, audio, sometimes we can use it, Well, that's what happened. I'll just say that's what happened. So in some parts of the video, the first video we did up there, you're going to see maybe a little bit of problem with video being perfectly clear. I'm going to work with it and try to get the best I can. Guarantee you're going to hear some audio quality that's not the best. Don't know what happened, but for some reason it's kind of quirky. Other parts of the video is fine, no problem at all. But I'm going to work with this guy. I think he's going to be a long-term sponsor of our channel by talking to him. Great people up there. We met people out in the area out there that was actually building the stuff. We talked to some of them, and they are great people. The owner of the place sat down with us. He basically gave us access to everything there, and he showed us everything there. We did some, I'll say some test fitting, and we did some other things in there that I'm not going to talk about yet that I thought was kind of exciting. Actually, it's going to benefit all of you if you pay attention to the video. So with that, support my sponsors if you can. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Tell your friends about my channel. Get them to subscribe. Share my videos. Below this video and every video I got, there's a share button. You hit that share button and then go down and share these videos on your public notices like Instagram, TikTok, any place else like that. You're more than welcome to share them. So use them, and it brings more subscribers to my channel. I'm trying to get this thing worked up and get it out there. Our Patreons is doing very well. I appreciate all of them. I haven't posted a video on Patreon for quite a while because I haven't really felt all that good. Jose is sick as of right now. I don't have anything like that. Mine's aches and pain stuff, nothing to worry about. I won't say, but he's got a cold or a flu or something. I don't even know how he got it, but he's got one. Jose's got his coffee wagon out. He's doing a lot of meets and greets and doing a lot of special parties, driveway parties and things like that. They post them on our Discord page. If you're a Patreon member, take your Discord link. I've already sent them to you. If you got a good one, if it's expired, let me know and I'll send you another one. But the pictures for things that he does, where he goes and how he goes and all that kind of stuff is all on Discord. His next meetup and everything, I think, is already posted on Discord. You have to go find it now. You have to scroll up and to find all these things. But I suggest if you're a Patreon, get on Discord. There's things on there you may be interested in. And I can tell you that the owner of the Cartworks up there, he's on Patreon and he's on my Discord. So if you have any questions about him on there or about parts or whatever he does, if you've been to the website, he's on Discord and he'll answer your questions. That's why you want to be on Discord. All these things are there. So with that, I'm just going to get there and say, support my sponsors when you can. They're all on there. You see them pop up here and there. I'm going to try to keep it as short as I can because I know the news is probably a little bit long this week. So with that, I'm going to say, be well, stay safe, stay alert, be aware, stay aware.
And don't leave your key in that golf cart.
This week's news is brought to you by my YouTube and Patreon members.